Hello, my name is Eric Putkonen. Thank you for joining me. Today we'll be talking about abiding as am. Now what I mean by this is actually the sat portion of sat-chit-ananda. In Hinduism, they say what we are, or the experience of truth, is sat-chit-ananda. Sat means being, existence. Chit is consciousness, awareness. And Ananda is bliss, causeless, happiness, joy, that sort. And if we're focusing on the sat portion and just abiding as sat, being, existence. Now this is the am part of I am this or that, because people spend a lot of time adding this or that to their identifications and their personal story. They'll say, I'm a man or a woman, when they're identifying and claiming the gender of the body, which has nothing to do with what they are. They'll say, I'm an American or whatever nationality, again, claiming and identifying with the country in which the body was born, again, having nothing to do with what you are. And so all this stuff, all this and that shows up after I am are objects, are things that we add and identify with the objects that we notice. And no object is what we really are. All these objects are passing things that have nothing to do with that which is aware of these things. And so you can drop off all of this and that, and then you're left with I am. Now, with I am, the I is still an appendage, something we add. We create this me, which identifies with and claims ownership of the am. I exist. And of course, the me also doesn't really exist. The me is an illusion of mind. When the mind is still and there are no thoughts, and so you're not identifying and such, the me does not really arise. And so it's possible to not try to attach or identify with this existence and let the illusory I not even arise, not even have the thought I arise. And so when you're prior to this I thought, and you're not adding anything after the am, what you're left with is am. Just am. And just am is being, is existence, is this sat portion of sat-chit-ananda. And so what I'm suggesting is that we regularly, if possible, just abide as am, this amness, this being, existence. Because as you're abiding and somewhat aware, kind of in the back of your head, a little bit of an emphasis perhaps on the feeling of existence. You don't want to try to turn it into an object too much. But am is one of the few things that we really know. We know it because we are it, in terms of we exist. There is existence. If it didn't exist, it wouldn't be there to know about it. If we didn't exist, we wouldn't know it. The fact that we know is proof of existence. And so this awareness, this consciousness, the everything, the world play, life, all this is what is. And we can become aware of this am, of it, this existence, of what is. And there isn't an other in amness. This am is the same everywhere. There's no border. There's no circumference. And so if you saw a flower or a tree, or say your pet, dog, cat, other people, whatever, and you're abiding as am, and you have this somewhat of awareness of existence, this am is the same, here as everywhere else. And so when you see say a rose, am is still there. See a tree, am is still there. Cat, am is still there. Dog, am is still there. Other people, it's the same am. It all is. It's what is. It takes a action of mind to divide and separate and create orders of being and different kinds of being, and we like to separate. But the fact of the matter is what is. There is existence. What exists? Am. And if you're just abiding as existence, as being, as am, there is a lack of division in this. Whatever is also exists. And so am is still there. But this is also putting in a little bit of attention or emphasis on the interior too, because all of what is experienced is through the body. The senses of the body, the nerves, are what gives feeling. And that is aware of existence because it is. And so there is feeling, there is pain, there is sight, there is everything else. Why? Because of existence. It exists. There is am, this amness. And so when you're abiding as am, it is feeling the am not only within but without. And so it's a simultaneous interior but also externally perception, because there's a lack of division in am. There isn't, like I said, there isn't two ams. Existence itself is singular. It exists or it doesn't. If it doesn't exist, then it isn't. And it's not, it can be imaginary. I know you can imagine things. You can imagine, a pink, whatever. You can just imagine an imaginary thing, and that doesn't exist. It's just a thought. But there is what exists, what actually exists. And so, sitting in the chair, there is the existence, being of not only being, but of the body that's capable of feeling, but also of the chair, because the chair is felt underneath. There's this undeniable existence of am, being. And so it's an interesting, I guess, experiment. You can think about it as an experiment in just trying to abide as this existence. Abide as am, periodically, if not regularly, and see what you notice when there's just this feeling, I guess you could say, of existence, of this, it's not so much a object. It's not like you can say, oh, that's it right there, that's existence. But at the same time, it can't be denied, because you are it. There is awareness, there is feeling. Why? Because there's existence. And so this turning inward and trying to just abide as existence, as amness, as am, abide as am, is an interesting experiment. But that's it for today. If you have any questions, please post below. But until next time, thank you much.